Have you ever set your alarm for 5 a.m. with big plans, only to hit snooze and wake up at 8, feeling a little bad inside? Maybe you've seen videos that say, successful people wake up early, and for a few days you tried it. Then slid back to late nights and late mornings. You tell yourself, I'm just not a morning person. I need my sleep. But what if the first hour of your day quietly holds the power to change your whole life? What if one man's simple story could show that your future is being written before the sun even rises? That's exactly what Robin Sharma talks about in his book, The 5 a.m. Club. Own your morning, elevate your life. The idea that the way you spend your early hours can slowly upgrade who you are and what you can do. Noah is about to discover this truth the hard way. His journey starts in a place of struggle, but it doesn't stay there. Are you ready to walk into his quiet, early morning world and see what changes? In a coastal town with a busy port and long lines of warehouses, there lived a 28-year-old man named Noah. Noah worked as a factory machine operator on rotating shifts. Some weeks he worked days, other weeks he worked nights, and his body never really felt rested. Every time he was on nights, he arrived at the factory in the evening and left when the sky was just turning light. His salary was barely enough. He lived in a tiny basement room with a low ceiling and no windows, with a broken fan, a mattress on the floor, and a single light bulb that flickered when the power was low. His clothes were old, his shoes had holes, but more than the things he could see, Noah suffered from something deeper. He felt trapped. Every morning, as he walked home past the quiet streets near the port, he saw other people's lives through their windows. Families having breakfast together, children preparing for school, men in clean shirts heading to office jobs. And Noah would think, will this be my life forever? Walking home while everyone else is waking up to their dreams? The question sat with him like a small stone in his shoe. Would anything ever change? He had tried to change. He had dropped out after grade 10 to help his family, and later tried to apply for better jobs, but with no proper qualification, every door closed. His mother, who lived in a mountain village far from the city, would call him once a week. Noah, my son, when will your life get better? I'm getting old. I want to see you succeed before I die. Noah would force cheerfulness into his voice. Soon, Mama, soon, I'm working on it. But he wasn't. Because he didn't know how. He wasn't lazy. He worked hard every shift, standing for hours, staying alert, doing his duty. But hard work alone wasn't changing anything. And every time he came home at dawn and collapsed into bed, sleeping half the day away, there has to be another way. But what? Have you ever felt that same small whisper in your own life? One cold Tuesday morning in November, Noah's phone rang just as he was leaving work. It was his sister. Noah, you need to come home. Mama fainted. She's in the hospital. His heart stopped. He took the first bus to the mountains, a 3-hour journey that felt like forever. When he arrived at the small rural clinic in the village, his mother was in bed, weak but conscious. The doctor said she had fainted because of diabetes and poor diet. She needed better food and proper rest at home. His mother held his hand, her voice barely a whisper. Noah, I don't have much time left. Find a way. Promise me. Noah sat beside her bed long after she fell asleep. He looked at her wrinkled hands, hands that had worked in fields and around the house for decades, just like he worked long hours on factory machines. Something inside him cracked, not with wild sadness, but with a quiet kind of anger. Anger at his own helplessness. Have you ever had a moment where you knew something had to change, even if you didn't know how? He stepped outside the clinic into the pre-dawn darkness. It was 5 a.m. The mountain village was still asleep, but a few farmers were already walking to their fields. Birds were beginning to sing. The air was cool and fresh, and in that moment, standing in the quiet dawn, Noah made a decision. "No more," he whispered. "I won't live like this anymore. I don't care what it takes. I will find a way." On the bus ride back to the coastal town, he noticed something. Sitting across from him was a man in his 50s, well-dressed, reading a book, peaceful. Noah recognized him. Mr. Lee, a successful businessman who owned several grocery stores in town. What shocked Noah was the time: 6 a.m. A successful man traveling on a regular bus at dawn. It made Noah wonder, what did this man know that he didn't? Noah gathered his courage. "Excuse me, sir. Why are you on this early bus?" Mr. Lee looked up and smiled. "Because I wake at 4:45 every morning. I use this time to read business and self-help books. And I think and plan my day before the world wakes up. I go for a walk in the park at dawn before anyone else arrives." "But don't you need sleep?" "I sleep at 9 p.m., 7.5 hours. Enough." Mr. Lee studied Noah's tired face. "You work shifts?" "Yes, factory machine operator." "And when do you sleep?" "When I come home from the night shift, usually from around 7 a.m. to the afternoon." Mr. Lee nodded slowly. "So, you're awake when the world sleeps, and often asleep when the world works. No wonder you're stuck." He leaned forward. "Young man, let me tell you a secret that changed my life 30 years ago. The hours between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., those are magic hours. That's when you can build the life you want while everyone else is still dreaming." Noah felt something stir. "But how? When I work nights, I finish at 6 a.m. I need sleep." "Then change your sleep," Mr. Lee said calmly. "On night weeks, sleep when you get home at 6:30. Wake up at 11:30, that's 5 hours, enough to survive. Then live your real life when the world is awake. And when you manage to shift to regular day work one day, wake at 5 a.m. Always. That's the secret." Mr. Lee wrote his phone number on a card. "If you're serious about changing your life, call me. I'll show you what to do with those morning hours." The bus reached Noah's stop. He looked at the card in his hand and made a promise to himself. "I'll do it, starting tomorrow." Do you think he will really follow through this time? Noah did something that night he had never really done before. The next morning, Noah's alarm rang at 5 a.m. It felt loud, too loud. His entire body protested. His mind whispered, "Just one more hour, you're so tired." But he remembered his mother's face in the clinic. He took a deep breath, threw off the blanket, and stood up. At 5 a.m., while it was still dark, he sat at his small table with his phone, watching free Excel tutorials on YouTube. At 6 a.m., he forced himself to walk around his neighborhood for 30 minutes. Then he came back, sat down, and read simple articles about accounting, a skill he had chosen to learn because every business needed it. By 7:30 a.m., he went to bed, slept until afternoon, and then got ready for his next shift at the factory. It was exhausting. It was lonely. Nobody understood why he was doing this. But something changed around day 20. One morning, Noah woke up at 4:58 a.m., 2 minutes before his alarm. His body had started to adapt. For the first time, he didn't feel angry at the alarm. He felt ready. He was learning formulas, little tricks, and how to read data. He finished his first online certificate. His morning walks became something he looked forward to. He was building something. By the end of month 2, Noah had completed 3 online courses in accounting. His confidence grew. People at work noticed. "Noah, you look different, healthier. What changed?" He smiled and said softly, "I'm changing my life 2 hours at a time." Can you feel how those early hours are slowly turning into his secret strength? In the 3rd month, Noah decided to use what he had learned. He created a simple Excel spreadsheet to organize the factory's inventory, something his company had never done properly. He showed it to his supervisor. The supervisor was surprised and impressed. Word reached the factory manager, then the owner. On day 87 of Noah's 5 a.m. journey, his supervisor called him into the office. "Noah, we're expanding our inventory and logistics team. We need someone who understands our factory operations and has basic bookkeeping skills. The job of inventory manager is yours if you want it. Day shift, a better position, and health insurance that will also cover your mother." Noah stood there, speechless. 3 months ago, he was a tired machine operator on rotating shifts. Now he was being offered a regular day job as inventory manager. "When do I start?" "Next Monday." Noah called Mr. Lee. "Mr. Lee, I did it. 90 days. I never missed a single 5 a.m. wake-up. And today, I got promoted to inventory manager, with health insurance for my mother." There was a pause on the line. Then Mr. Lee's voice, proud and warm. "I knew you would. You had the look of someone ready to change. Now remember, don't stop waking at 5. That's not a strategy. That's your life now." "I won't stop," Noah said quietly. "This is who I am now." 1 year later, Noah had become a strong, trusted inventory manager for the factory. He had saved enough money to move his mother from the mountain village to town, get her proper medical care for her diabetes, and rent a decent 2-room flat. He bought better furniture, a real bed, and a good fan and AC so his mother could rest in comfort. Every morning at 5 a.m., he still woke up, not because he had to, but because those 2 hours were sacred. That's when he learned new software, read business books, and planned his future. His co-workers would ask, "Noah, why do you wake up so early? You're already promoted." He would smile and say, "Success is not a destination. It's a daily practice. And mine begins at 5 a.m. Do you notice how his mornings now feel like a gentle promise he keeps to himself? My friend, Noah's story is proof of something powerful. Your life can change, not someday. Not only when circumstances improve, it can begin right now, starting tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is not just talent. It's not just luck. It's not even only hard work. It's how you use the time when everyone else is sleeping. This is when you can do the deep work that changes your path. So, here's your challenge. The same challenge Mr. Lee gave Noah. Step 1. Tonight, set your alarm for 5 a.m., not 5:15, not 5:30, exactly 5 a.m., and put your phone across the room so you have to stand up to turn it off. Step 2. Decide what you'll build in your first hour, a skill you need, a small business idea, a course you want to finish. Choose one thing, just one, and commit to it for 90 days. Step 3. Protect your 9 p.m. bedtime. You can't wake up early if you sleep late. Skip the endless scrolling. Sleep is not your enemy. Wasted evenings are. Can you imagine how proud you would feel after 90 days of keeping this promise? The only question is, will you do it? Or will you hit snooze tomorrow and wonder 5 years from now why nothing changed? Remember Noah's words. Success is not a destination. It's a daily practice, and that practice begins tomorrow at 5 a.m. Will you be awake? Not just in your body, but in your dreams too. Your future self is already cheering for you from the dark, whispering, "Get up. This is our moment." Don't leave them standing there alone. Wake up, show up, and let your story truly begin.